Broomfield Animal Services works under the Broomfield Police Department. So I was called out on an animal in custody. I got a report that a small dog had jumped onto an RTD bus. When I arrived, I met with the driver and I looked on the bus. There were no passengers on the bus, just this one little dog, a little poodle, a cockapoo that was sitting there. The bus driver explained to me that he saw the dog running loose in the intersection during rush hour. His door happened to be open. The dog jumped up into his bus and the dog made himself at home right there in the bus and was no problem to any of the passengers. I went ahead and took custody of the dog. I did scan it for a microchip. It did have one. So I went ahead and impounded the dog at our kennel, called the microchip company, got the name of the owner and a phone number. However, when I called the phone numbers, they were no longer in service, both phone numbers. Awesome dog, just a real nice temperament. Just would kind of look off into the distance like, you know, this was a great adventure. When I took custody of the dog, I noticed that it was severely matted around its feet, its tail. It's badly matted, like it hadn't been groomed in a long time. I knew that would be uncomfortable for the dog. I did take him to the Dirty Dog here in Broomfield. They have done volunteer work here in Broomfield for animals. We had taken other severely matted dogs there in the past for cases that we worked on.
We are the Dirty Dog Grooming in Broomfield, Colorado. We love doing these rescue dogs that Broomfield Animal Control brings into us. It feels good to turn them around and make them look really good. I think it helps in the adoption process when somebody can see a dog as they really are. And that's our biggest thing, is finding these dogs homes and having a good grooming job on them and making them look cute really helps in that process.
After the dog was groomed, I took him back to the kennel, hopefully waiting to hear back from the owner. We did not hear back from an owner, so I transported the dog to the Boulder Humane Society. It's been about 4 days now since I took RTD over to the Humane Society of Boulder Valley. I did talk to the staff over there at the Humane Society and found out today that he's already been rehomed to a new home. So that made me feel great. A lot of the dogs that we encounter do and pick up as strays, it's kind of a quick turnaround. They do go back home, and that's part of why we do this job, and it's very rewarding. Our motto is promoting responsible pet ownership. By being a responsible pet owner, you in turn make our community a great place to live.
There's been numerous times that Broomfield Animal Services have actually paid for the grooming out of their own pocket. They donate money towards the grooming for the people who can't afford it or the dogs who do not have homes. And I've been really impressed with that, and that's why I like to help out, and that's motivation for me, that they're willing to do this on their own.
Partnerships we have in the animal world with people like the Boulder Humane Society, and the Dirty Dog, the vets here in the Broomfield area. It's all a part of us caring for these animals and their welfare. The thing I get most from this job is I enjoy getting the dogs back home to their owners. Over 90% of our dogs last year in 2014 did go back home. Getting them back home, knowing they're back with their family, that's a big part of why I do this job.